Who's ready to get this goddamn show on the road? Make a little bit of noise, everybody! We are so happy to have you hanging out with our very first birthday of many, many, many more, I'm sure of it. As long as Marsha keeps running everything so tightly, so smoothly, so amazingly. Let's welcome up our next amazing speaker. And audience members, please take it easy up here. Put the arguments on pause. Take that to Twitter. We would love to let you know a few fun facts, and the facts that I actually have are real this time, unlike Katie. I'm very sorry about that, Katie. Our next speaker, he only wears black. He is the world's most endorsed fire eater on LinkedIn, and he lived exclusively on Soylent for 4 months. Please make some noise for Khallil Mangalji!
I like exploring, I'm Caillou. So many things to do, each day is something.
All the way to the stage, keep making some noise for that man!
My world is turning, changing each day. With mommy and daddy, I'm finding my way.
Oh, sorry. All good. Okay. I'm supposed to click to the right. Oh, that's me. Okay. Hey, everyone. Anyone catch that Caillou theme song over there? Pretty cool, eh? Yeah, throwback. I wrote a talk, and then I was supposed to show it to the Fuckup Nights team. I showed them the talk, and then they told me they didn't like it. So then I fucked up my whole Fuckup Nights talk. So now I have redone the talk, and this is my 3rd attempt at it. So sorry if it's bad. This is Khalil. This was Happy Khalil. So it's like 2 years ago, 2015. I've just graduated from Waterloo. I'm like, whoo, I did well. But then I went and I started getting jobs. And I got a job offer from Facebook, from Apple, from Uber. I was poised to make $200,000 in my first year of work. They were going to move me to California. I was like, damn, Khalil, you got a good life. I was having so much fun, I literally spent my free time doing this. Dressed up like a banana, hanging out with penguins. Like, who gets to do that, right? My life was awesome. And then I went and I fucked it all up. You know why? Because I was like, hey, I'm a brown guy, you know, I got some privilege, I can do this. I saw Mark Zuckerberg, and I was like, whew, he was 20 when he started Facebook. And then I saw Bill Gates, and I was like, whoa, he was 20 when he started Microsoft. And then I saw this show, The Social Network. And in it, fake Zuck, Jesse Eisenberg, runs down Wall Street in his pajamas raising millions of dollars. And that was the point where I was like, yep, I need a piece of that lifestyle. So I told all these job offers to fuck off, and I was going to start my own company. And to do that, I obviously needed some co-founders. So I went and met 2 other fuck-ups, Arif and Zane, who are here right now. And we decided to start this company. We started with $5,000. The University of Waterloo gave this to us because we were hella broke personally. So they gave us this $5,000. And we're like, all right, what's our first idea? HR software, all right? So, $100 billion space, if we can get just 1%, just 1%, we're a fucking unicorn, eh? I was like, yes, this is the business. So I did everything. We made mobile sites, we made desktop sites, we made like reporting dashboards, custom logins, whole 9 yards. I was sure the best business is the best product. 3 months later, we launch it, and nobody's willing to pay us. We literally failed. $2,000 later, I was like, well, that was not prancing down Wall Street, was it? I lost a lot of our money. It wasn't really a good feeling. I think like me, Arf, and like our other co-founders, we had this conversation at the time, and we were like, hey, Instagram was a dating app before, and they did this thing called a pivot, and then they made Instagram, and I was like, shit, if we pivot, we're gonna be Instagram. So we were like, yo, let's pivot. And my co-founder, Arf, at this time, he's getting married, right? So he's like, I got the idea. Airbnb for weddings. Yeah, Airbnb for weddings. Great idea, right? Turns out not such a great idea. We decided that what we were going to do is we were going to say that if we can sell someone on this idea, then we would build it. But we spent a week talking to all these wedding halls, and nobody was down to use it. So now I'm kind of in this place where I'm like, all right, we're 2 failed startups deep. We only have, we only have $2,000. Hold on. We only have $2,000 left in the bank account. Like, things aren't going so well. Like, I was very sad. And like, I looked at Facebook and I was like, my friend Shaq had just moved to LA. He was at Snapchat. He was just about to IPO. My friend Nick was working at Uber. They were going on vacations together. I was so jealous. I was literally living in Arf's mom's attic, eating his grandma's Indian food every day. And although his grandma's Indian food is amazing, it's just like, it wasn't the lifestyle I thought I'd have. So things are kind of bleak for us. I'm running out of money. I'm sad. I'm not Jesse Eisenberg. So what do? I think like we had a lot of brainstorming sessions and we're coming up with ideas, and it's like snowing outside, and like Toronto's a bit depressing when it's snowing, and we have to get the tires changed on our freaking Hyundai. So we have to lug the tires into his trunk and drive to the repair shop and sit there for 4 hours. We like didn't want to do it. And his uncle comes over, and his uncle's like, hey, I can change the tires for you, and you can stay inside and make more of those failing startups. We were like, oh, I like it. But it's pretty magical, actually. Probably something you could turn into a business. So that's what we do. We go on Kijiji and we make this like you make this posting like $40 tire change at your home. And 80 people booked in the first 2 weeks. We didn't even have a mechanic to do them. We literally just found a guy. It was like, oh, gotta do a tire change? Yarf, do you know how to do a tire change? No. Khalil, you're not? No. So it was a bit of a sketch situation. We got this guy named Gajanin to do them. He was not licensed, but it was all good. Anyways, now, our customers started asking for more stuff. They wanted like brakes, starters, batteries, anything a repair shop can offer without going there. Nobody likes this waiting room. So now, instead of sitting in a cold, dark waiting room, reading those magazines that teach you how to shave that last 15 pounds off, instead, you can get something a little bit more sexy. Woo-hoo! Woo! Would you not want that guy at your house fixing your car? Yeah, you would. Licensed expert mechanics that come to you. It was an amazing idea, and I was so happy about it. So let's take a little pause here and go over some lessons so far. First is you have to make something people want. When we were making things we thought people would want, it didn't work out too well for us. The second is don't build things. Our product came out of sheer luck. It was like people told us what they wanted, and we went and launched it before we even built it, and then we let the market tell us what to iterate on and do next. And finally, shit gets worse, because obviously it always does. And that's exactly what happened. We got $2,000 in the bank. But what happens when you have a few customers that realize you're not doing fraud checks on credit cards? They take advantage of you. And then the chargebacks start coming, and then you go bankrupt. Thanks guys. So now we're fucking 3 failed startups in. We've lost all of our money. It's like not a good place for us. We thought we had made it finally, but then we had lost all our money. And for us, it was hard because I had to dip into my personal savings to keep the company alive. I remember like we would spend all of our time either hunting down these criminals or like going to pitch competitions, literally begging people for money. Like there was times where I bought fake Facebook accounts with Bitcoins on the darknet so that I could write a bot to vote for me in this competition that would give me $10,000. Like, it was misery. I got so sad that I literally went onto Snapchat and started Snapchatting about our startup. But Y Combinator found us on Snapchat. And they were like, whoa, we like this idea. And they put us in the YC Fellowship, which solved all of our money problems. We raised a nice little pre-seed round. Finally, things were okay. But like I said before, shit always gets worse. And right when we're finishing up with the YC Fellowship, this happens.
And this morning, they said that there was like a tumor. So, and then we have an appointment at 11 a.m. to figure out exactly what's going on. So, that's that. We just talked to the doctor, and he said it's definitely cancer.
So that was pretty fucked up. I think like my mindset here was like either you get through this and you just say, hey, I got this cancer thing. There's nothing I can do about it. I have to beat it. And I think that's like the kind of mindset I kept going at the time. And I was really lucky because just as I finished battling this issue, YC told us that they loved us during the fellowship and they wanted to put us in the full-time program. So immediately, I friggin' fly to California. I live on the floor with 6 other sweaty dudes, and we all try to build this billion-dollar company. And guess what? It fucking works. We grow 10% every single week for 3 months straight to over $100K a month in sales. And in the end, we raise $1.5 million to make Fiix a reality. Now, for me, this is like game changing. This is like I've given up on all these job opportunities. I've seen my friends go live my dream life. I've tried all these different startups. They've all gone down the tube. I've fucking just beat cancer, like, and now finally some validation. Like, if this is the world, this was me, like on top of the world. I was like, yes, we got this. But as always, when shit gets bad, it always gets worse. And this happens.
Cancer came back. I'm not really that worried about it because it's just like another thing to get through. Yeah.
Right here, good vibes, good moments, good vibes, all day, all night. Ultralight beam. Ultralight beam. So, I don't know. I'll just do the cliff notes now. Like, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, so cliff notes is I end up having 3 minutes left. So I end up beating that. It's a hard time for me. By the end of it, we come back to Toronto. We continue to grow Fiix. Things are going well. It comes back for a 3rd time. I've finally beat it again for a 3rd time. Now this shit's supposed to be gone forever, so hopefully that's the case. But I wanted to go over some lessons now. The first is the freedom to work on what you want to work on is really a luxury. Like when I was going through chemo, I didn't have the energy to work on Fiix. I didn't have the ability to like stand up and just like go for a walk. I was always just like drained of everything within me that it was so hard to do things. And I think like that idea of having the health to have the freedom to do what you want really matters. And then the idea of having the like privilege or even having the economical situation where I could survive to have that like 2K in the bank just to make that business happen is something that I'm really thankful for. So I think the idea is if you have the freedom to be able to have free time, use it to do something you care about. Don't just burn it all watching bad TV. And the second thing is purpose will really get you through anything. Whenever I was going through something hard and the Fiix team had some sort of like product that was going to crash unless I focused on it and spent some time on it, were the times that I forgot I was even sick. And the times that I felt like, hey, Arif and Zayn kind of have this handled, and I was just like alone at home with my girlfriend and parents, that was the harder times. So when you have purpose, I think nothing else matters, and you got to just keep doing that. And what I wanted to touch on was that sense of purpose for more than just Khalil, but the sense of purpose that Fiix has. And like today we have a few mechanics in the city that work at Fiix. And the median salary for a mechanic in Toronto is just $23 an hour. But at Fiix, we can pay our mechanics $50 an hour. And that's made literally a doubling difference in the lifestyle of many mechanics across the city. That means new homes, that means better lifestyles, that means better education for their kids. And today we've had that impact on just like 10 to 15 mechanics in the city. But in the next few months or in the next few years, I'm certain that that's going to be hundreds of mechanics all across North America. And I think that Fiix is really an opportunity to have a purpose and to make a change in the lives of people that need it the most. So that's us. And what I would love is for you guys to all keep up. My girlfriend and I love to make YouTube videos. So if you go to this URL, it'll take you straight to the YouTube page. It'll even do that little like question mark subscribe thing so that you'll be told to subscribe. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah. That's it. Thanks for your time, guys. Q&A. Wait, do I choose?
So, I come from a family, actually 2 of my family members had cancer, and it's really awesome the outlook on life that you had and the positiveness that you kept throughout the process. So I really want to congratulate and thank you for that process. And it's something that a lot of people don't see, and it's just really awesome to see someone like that. But my question is, throughout life, you get a lot of ups and downs. It's very much like a roller coaster. And I truly believe that only some ideas can be born out of a state of survival and desperation, and some ideas can be born out of a state of comfort and growth. For you personally, do you think that it was the survival states or the growth states that really birthed the ideas that founded and brought you to where you are today?
You mean like in terms of coming up with the idea for Fiix?
The idea for Fiix and who you are as a person, and what shaped you to be who you are today.
Like, am I just trying to survive, or am I trying to grow, is your question?
Did you find your moments of inspiration through
Yeah.
the moments of growth or through the moments of survival?
That's a good question. I would say that the times where I do my best work are the times where I'm not worrying about needing to survive, just because you have the freedom to kind of do whatever you want. But the times where I make the best decisions are the times where you have to survive. Like, I think with Fiix, I would say that in the time we were in YC and felt like we would run out of money or need to have money to even make this thing work are the times you got the most done, versus the times that are when we have a lot of money behind us and we have the comfort of knowing that like this company has years of runway without issue. So I think like needing to survive makes you make decisions and just try a lot of things very quickly and not get tied up with like the day-to-day operations of like management and one-on-ones and things like that. It's just about progress and a pure fire for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your talk. It was humorous. It was like, it was just really powerful. It was really powerful in a word. I wanted to ask, how you managed to have, and maybe habits or things you were doing regularly to have a positive mindset going through cancer and still running a company. Sometimes people can make a lot of excuses even for, not dealing with something to the at the same level that you did.
Yeah.
So what kind of structure or systems and different things that you have in place to really kind of keep you going?
I'm like beyond 100% certain that the answer to that is just purpose. Like, I find that when it's in times of when you go through a startup, there's a lot of like ups and downs, right? And the times that you feel like the things you're doing are making a difference to more than just yourself are the times where like nothing even matters. Like, you won't go to the gym, you won't watch TV. All you'll do is want to like crank out that thing because you know that tomorrow it's going to make all these 10 mechanics like an extra $600, which is going to go towards like an awesome dinner for the family or something that has some sort of purpose, right? And having that purpose is what always kept me going. And it's never been, I've never done something out of like, hey, I think I can make a lot of money here. It's always been like, what is the most fun thing? And if you find fun in doing what you're doing, then you found purpose in it, and then you're good. So I would say just like, stop taking life so seriously, just chill and do what you love, and then things will work out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Khalil.
Jeez. That's my co-founder, Arif. Don't know why he's asking a question.
So I know we've worked together for like 3 years, me, you, and Zane. We've obviously been through a lot of fuck-ups. I've never really asked you this question, but what was the scariest moment for you? Like, what was the biggest fuck-up where you're just like, this is not going to work? Like, we got to quit.
The scariest moment. It was definitely when HiredWell went south. Like back in the day, we had this thing called HiredWell, and I honestly thought it was going to be $1 billion company, like that friggin' HR thing. And I remember how much work I'd put in, like all those months. I thought like really I had worked at like Apple before, so I knew like how to build a great product, but I didn't know how to build a product people wanted because people always told me what they wanted. And I think like when we decided that this hired well thing was just a waste of time and a complete bust, was just like, all right, I'm gonna have to just go with my friends to California, and I thought that was over. So I think that was probably the hardest. Good? Oh.
Hi, Khalil. It's such an honor to call you a friend, and it's been so amazing to see you along this journey. And my question was actually around habits as well, but since she asked that, I'm going to pivot and ask another question. Can you talk a little bit about your Dragon's Den experience? You didn't really touch on that.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the biggest takeaway from the Dragon's Den experience? And maybe also touch upon how do you deal with, I guess, the challenge of needing funding, but also not wanting to give up stake in your company?
Yeah, so, well, first of all, neither of those questions were planned, although both people know me. I didn't know they were going to do that. So, Dragon's Den. Yeah, Fiix was recently on Dragon's Den. You should check the episode out. What happened there was we had an opportunity to go on the show. The day they were, this is actually a cool story. It's on our YouTube channel, but the day they were going to do filming for the show, I had a flight to fly to Toronto and then be on the show with them, but I used a thermometer that told me my temperature was too low, and I ended up in the hospital. And then when I was at the hospital, they were like, hey, your temperature's fine, but you got this white blood cell problem. And it turned out that my white blood cell count was so low that if I had flown to Dragon's Den and got sick, I would have been like dead on the plane. So that like broken buggy thermometer saved my life on the way to Dragon's Den. So the Dragon's Den story is crazy for me. And what happens is Arif and Zayn go on the show, and they go on the show in like with our regular valuation. They're like, hey, we want $100,000 for 1%. And instantly all of the dragons freak out. They're like, your valuation's way too high. Like, you guys are here for all the wrong reasons. You just want publicity. You just want to be on TV. And it's like they shit on Arif and Zayn for so long. But what happens is Arif and Zayn end up convincing them that this is actually a great business. And in the end, we end up getting 700,000 instead of 100,000, and they're all blown away. So if you want to check out that episode, highly recommended. All right, that's all. Thanks, guys.
One more round of applause for this fantastic speaker, everybody. I'll take that. Thank you.